Today on Loyola News Chicago, the local Muslim community reacts to the massacre in New Zealand. Find out why Loyola graduate students are protesting, and later, another sequel of our favorite childhood movie is coming.
From the Convergence Studio in the School of Communication, this is Loyola News Chicago.
Hello and welcome to Loyola News Chicago. I'm Esther Leisha.
And I'm Annie Kate Raglow. Here's the news of the week. Last Friday's mosque shootings in New Zealand have impacted all Muslims across the globe, including here at Loyola. Reporter Sajida Al-Khazaleh shows us the impact the New Zealand massacre has had on the Loyola Muslim community.
This is a typical day of prayer for Loyola Muslim students. Islam is a religion of peace, but what happened to Muslims in New Zealand less than a week ago was far from that. At least 50 people were killed and dozens were injured in shootings at two mosques during the Islamic Friday prayers. The attacker was a white supremacist. When the news broke out, the first thing Loyola's Muslim chaplain, Omar Muzaffar, thought of was his students.
It was a serious enough event that I was looking to see if there's any connection to America, to Chicago, to Loyola. I couldn't find anything.
For some Muslim students like Loyola Junior Muhammad Sadiqi, the tragedy felt close to home. He immediately thought of his family.
It just happened to, innocent people who did nothing wrong and were just going about their daily lives. And, that could be anyone. That could be me, that could be my father, that could be my brother, that could be my sister.
But something happened after this tragedy. People all over the world came together to mourn and support Muslims, including here at Loyola.
It was in this quad that hundreds of Loyola faculty and students of all faiths gathered to support the Muslim community.
About 40 people were expected to attend Loyola's vigil Monday night, but 200 showed up. After a prayer, students held a white rose for each soul that was lost. The amount of support from other communities has come as a pleasant surprise to many Muslims, including Muzaffar.
Since 9/11, where so much of the last 2 decades required us to focus on distancing ourselves, if not apologizing for the acts of terrorists. It's a strange new feeling that all these people are coming forward to offer their support. So I'm definitely very, very grateful for it.
As for Sadiqi, he hopes tragedies like these can be a teaching moment for everyone.
Learn about other people's religions from reliable sources. Like, we can't just read anything from any random blog or any random website. We should actually try to participate in gatherings of people of other faiths, try to befriend someone who's of a different faith.
Students and alumni can learn more about Islam and other religions by visiting the Loyola Campus Ministry on the 2nd floor of the Damon Center. Sajida Al-Khazaleh, Loyola News Chicago.
Loyola has about 900 Muslim students and faculty. Loyola President Joanne Rooney also offered her condolences in an email Tuesday morning. In other global news, the FBI has joined the ongoing investigation into the Boeing 737 MAX 8 airplane. 2 Boeing planes have crashed since last October, sparking the U.S. Department of Transportation's investigation. 157 people were killed in the March 10th crash in Ethiopia, just months after a crash by the same type of Boeing airplane that killed 189 in Indonesia. The certification process of the Boeing 737 MAX 8 jetliner is now under review.
Loyola's graduate workers are protesting right now in the hopes that the university will recognize their union and bargain with them for more pay. We go live to Michael McDevitt at Loyola's Lakeshore campus where the protest is currently happening. So Michael, what's happening there now?
Well, graduate workers, they say they're students, but Loyola says graduate workers are students, but they do much more than that. They grade papers, they're research assistants, and they teach classes. But Loyola insists that they're not employees. They voted to unionize 2 years ago, but the university has refused to recognize them as an official union on campus, despite recognizing the non-tenured track faculty union last spring. They're behind me right now. There's a couple dozen of them protesting. This is just another call for the university to come to the bargaining table with them and give them a fair contract. What they're looking for is more pay. The university recently gave them dental coverage and lifted the ban on them holding an outside job. But we talked to 2 graduate students in the philosophy department who insisted that that is not enough, and they spoke out against what they see as Loyola's insufficient concessions.
Because of the university's continued insistence that we aren't workers and their failure to continue to meet us at the bargaining table, we're here today to essentially say we're here, we're not going to be silenced. We're positive and we're excited and we hope that we're going to get things done, but again, we're here to let them know that what we do is work and we want to get to the bargaining table.
As a graduate student, it is sort of a struggle to make ends meet, especially in a city that's as expensive as Chicago. So according to MIT researchers, in order to get by in Chicago, one person must be making about $28,000 a year. We start out making $18,000, and the maximum that we could possibly reach is about $20,000. So that's still $8,000 short of what it takes to live in Chicago.
And like I said, this is going on right behind me. There's been a few speakers. They've got a couple dozen people out here. They're all wearing these orange hats to stand in solidarity. They offered us some of the hats, but we had to say no, obviously. But coincidentally, this comes on the same week that their counterparts down at UIC on the other side of the city, those graduate student workers are going on strike in their fight to be recognized as a union from that university. Michael McDevitt, Loyola News, Chicago.
So, Michael, is there any response from the university?
Well, the university has a few people out here in attendance. They're standing. We don't know if they're actually in support or if they're just listening. Dean of Students Will Rodriguez is here, as well as the Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences, which the grad students work under, Tom Regan.
Thank you, Michael. We appreciate you covering the story for us.
The White House wants Congress to put a cap on student loans. The Trump administration made this proposal earlier this week as an update to the Higher Education Act. The reason for the cap is research shows unlimited borrowing causes schools to raise tuition. It would also prevent people from borrowing more than they can pay back. Currently, undergraduate students can borrow up to $57,000 over their lifetime. However, parents of students can borrow as much as they need. The White House has not said what the loan limit would be. Carla Rogner hit the streets on campus to hear what college students think about this proposal.
Students have mixed reviews about the possible cap on student loan borrowing. Some say that this proposal may help prevent tuition from increasing, but others are not so sure.
By putting a cap on it, it's maybe lowering the tuitions and more people will not be in debt.
Didn't hear a lot about it, but I would think that if he caps it, maybe that would help. I'm not too sure.
Instead of, putting a Band-Aid on something, we need to completely rework everything and start from the ground up and make tuition actually affordable for students so they don't even have to take out that many student loans in the first place.
So yeah, I agree, putting the cap on would definitely help out institutions in gaining more students.
We reached out to Loyola's bursar office to see how this proposal may affect Loyola students, but they said that since there are no specific numbers in the proposal, it is too early to tell. Carla Rogner, Loyola News, Chicago.
As of last year, the average person with federal student loans owes a little over $33,000. The national student loan debt is $1.5 trillion.
Today and tomorrow, students can vote via email for one of 3 student government tickets. The candidates for President are Patel, Sophie Yano, and Kathleen Mays. Each candidate's campaign is focusing on different issues, from improving campus safety to bringing the Loyola community together. Students will get an email with a link to the ballot. The link only works once, so you'll have to vote in one session. On Tuesday, the Loyola Phoenix announced their endorsement for Kathleen Mays and Mario Guerrero.
Chance the Rapper has endorsed Tony Preckwinkle for mayor of Chicago. During a news conference at City Hall, Chance said Preckwinkle's opponent, Lori Lightfoot's track record as a prosecutor is not in the best interest of young black people. Preckwinkle is Chance's second endorsement for mayor. Back in October, he endorsed Amara Enya for mayor and donated $400,000 to her campaign. Chance's endorsement of Preckwinkle is no surprise, since his dad serves as a co-chairman for her campaign. The final election takes place on April 2nd.
Coming up, Loyola has the basketball blues.
Then, a woman whose company honors her late brother in a special way. We'll be right back.
Let yourself go. Let yourself go. You always come around looking so uptight, scared that you're gonna be impolite. Is this the way you wanna live your life? Please listen to me and see the light. You need to express, break free from the stress. Let's leave our regrets and see.
This can't be happening. This can't be happening.
Of course it's not happening. Armored car. Listen, having money isn't about luck. Make your own coffee, save $1,000 a year. Feed me. Feed the pig.
The basketball season ended for the Ramblers Tuesday night after a loss to the Creighton Blue Jays. The Ramblers had a disappointing loss of 70-61 in the NIT. The Blue Jays were the 2 seed, while the Ramblers were 7 seed. Creighton's Martine Crumple finished with 17 points, 8 rebounds, and 2 assists. Loyola's leading scorer was Ahir Uguak with 18 points. Loyola's seniors struggled in their last game. Clayton Custer scored 9 points, and Marcus Towns scored just 4. Towns had averaged more than 15 points per game this season. And the Ramblers assistant coach Brian Mullins will be leaving to become the head men's basketball coach at Southern Illinois University. SIU is Mullins' alma mater. Loyola School of Education has appointed a new dean. Malik S. Henfield will leave the University of San Francisco, where he served as Associate Dean of Academic Affairs, Research, and Faculty Advancement. Dr. Henfield tweeted in response to Loyola's announcement, quote, "Excited to begin this new chapter alongside all of the wonderful folks at Loyola SOC, the Loyola Chicago community, and the city of Chicago."
Losing a loved one is not an easy thing to go through. Reporter Queenie Ama introduces us to a young woman who is turning the nightmare of losing her brother into fulfilling a lifelong dream.
Sylvia Saba lives in an apartment full of flowers. You would think she has several admirers, but in reality, it is the outcome of a lifelong passion and dream. She creates her own theme for the flowers and spends hours perfecting her craft. She's living her dream that started when her brother unexpectedly died at the age of 32.
I kind of shut myself out of everything. I gave up on everything that I love to do.
Her brother had gone to sleep and never woke back up. Even though he's gone, she gets her inspiration from him. It was her lifelong dream to open up a flower shop, and her brother sent her a sign that now might be the time.
One day I just had a dream of him, and I know he didn't want me to act this way, and I know that he would like to see me do something that I love to do and what I'm passionate about.
And that explains the flowers in every corner of her apartment. In fact, the moment you walk in through the front door, you are immersed with the smell of roses.
I put all that energy into something I love to do, and it reminds me of him because he actually bloomed me into the person, the woman I am today. So that's where I got the name from, Blooming Boutique.
Sylvia has been working on this project for the past 3 months. She sells her flowers on her Instagram page or a simple phone call. She personally delivers them to you.
We all have to start somewhere, so this is the place I chose to be.
Even though she is working out of her home, she hopes within a year she will have a flower shop separate from her house right in downtown Chicago.
Queenie Ama, Loyola News Chicago.
Sylvia says for every order of flowers, she will include a fresh, long-stemmed rose on the side in memory of her brother.
It's that time of the year again. Lollapalooza will take over Chicago this summer from August 1st to the 4th. Tickets went on sale Tuesday with the option to buy various 4-day passes to the festival. One-day tickets will be available at a later date. Last year, weekend passes sold out in 8 days. The lineup was announced a day after the tickets went on sale. There will be more than 170 performances throughout the 4-day festival. Performers include Ariana Grande, 21 Pilots, and local artist Saba. Lollapalooza is expected to host more than 160,000 people in Grant Park this year.
Disney and Pixar are bringing their beloved toys back to the big screen once again. The full-length trailer, released Tuesday, brings back Tom Hanks as Woody the Cowboy, Tim Allen as Buzz Lightyear, and Joan Cusack as Jessie the yodeling cowgirl. Check it out.
Bonnie made a friend in class.
Oh, she's already making friends.
No, she literally made a new friend. I want you to meet Forky. Hi.
Hello.
Hi. Ah!
He's a spork.
Yes, yeah, I know.
The trailer racked up nearly 20 million views on YouTube in the first 48 hours since it was posted. The third movie in the Toy Story series came out nearly a decade ago, and the new one will be out June 21st. I don't know about you, but those movies are such a tearjerker for me.
I know, I can't wait to watch it.
That's all we have for you today. Thank you so much for tuning in.
And we'll see you next week for another episode of Loyola News Chicago. Have a great night.